All right, welcome back. Chidebere Ezeani joins us now. I don't have to do this to myself. Chidebere, let me welcome you today. It's nice to have you join us.
Always a pleasure. Compliments, guys.
Yeah. Same to you as well.
It's great to have you. Let's cut to the chase. And where do we start from? Should we start from? I think we should start from Harry Kane. Or let's start with Harry Kane. Harry Kane is on fire, right?
Yeah.
And just yesterday.
See, among the greats now. I think that's what everybody's talking about.
Start asking that kind of question.
Considering what Messi and Ronaldo have done in football in the last 10 years, it's difficult now to see the efforts of others when they are not at par with those guys. But Harry Kane has he's made himself a different kind of player. He was called a one-season wonder, a two-season maybe, and now he's shown in the last 3 years that he's capable of taking that sports side to the next level. Because the kind of goals he scores, he makes it seem effortless. Headed goals, left footers, right footers, tap-ins, shots from outside.
Long range.
So
he has it all.
Yeah, he seemed to score every kind of goal. So I think he's a good player. I think if I were a sports fan, I should be really afraid because the possibility of him remaining with the club.
Weakness you could directly comes to mind. Maybe physical presence. Maybe.
Unfortunately, I can't find. Maybe speed.
Yeah.
Maybe speed, but when it comes to ability to hold on to play, he has all that. We saw him do it to Chelsea not once, not 2 times, against the likes of John Terry at the time, and he's a striker who, maybe you could also sometimes his positioning. He's a striker who likes to play with the midfielders. He's not one to run behind.
Come back to take the ball.
Yeah, he likes to have the ball all the time. He doesn't like run behind the defenders, not like some other strikers. So for me, but I think his kind of game is working for him. So and the fact that he can take on the ball, do dribbles here and there, is also good for him. I think Real Madrid, with all their problems, might just be looking at him.
Right, interesting. It's very interesting you mentioned Messi and Ronaldo at the start of your comments, and so we're going to just compare Harry Kane and Lionel Messi today. We just did that this morning. Harry Kane on fire, and Chidebere is trying to compare his efforts in front of the goal against the likes of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And surprise, surprise, Harry Kane is on top of that log for goals scored in 2017 for club and country. Harry Kane, 56 goals, 2 more than Lionel Messi. 3 more than Cristiano Ronaldo. Robert Lewandowski is always also on that list, as well as Edison Cavani. So there you have it. He scored more goals than all these guys. So it's safe to say he belongs in that conversation. Is he world class though? I mean, that's another question entirely.
Well, like I said, considering what the other people have achieved, and the fact that Tottenham has not, gone ahead to probably win the league or win trophies, maybe he's not categorized as world class. But the thing with Harry Kane is the only criticism that I can think of is the fact that he scores in batches. He goes like 5 games, he scores 11 goals, and then he goes like 5 games, he doesn't score. He doesn't.
His famous August.
He doesn't score in August, and then he goes all through September scoring 11 goals, and then in November, those are the things. But when you look at these other guys, they are consistent players. They're players that are on their game, and of course, winning titles with your team is what makes you, part of the things that makes you a great player.
World class, right? So, before we leave Harry Kane, does it really need to move to achieve that?
Eventually, I think as much as Tottenham are intending to build, I don't think they have the capacity to compete with the likes of Manchester City, the Real Madrids, even the Manchester United. Exactly. So I think if I don't believe Tottenham they have what it takes, to acquire the kind of players that will take them to the next level.
One more on this Harry Kane stuff before I let it go. Can he carry the weight for England? I mean, that's been the problem. Somebody to shoulder the responsibility. The so hyped England team. Will Harry Kane, now he's the star man, can he carry the weight?
Club football and national team football, they are 2 different things entirely. And in the England national team, they've been struggling
for as long as I can remember.
Exactly, right? And it's not for lack of good players. I think it has something to do with the team cohesion. Harry Kane, you know, if you give him the ball on his feet, is going to score, even when the team is playing not so good. So, but if I can't necessarily say, okay, Harry Kane has the capacity to lead the team, you know, the England national team to the semi-finals of the World Cup. Right. He has all the talent, he has all the abilities. But what happens with the team itself? Okay.
That's the most important part of it. That's the Harry Kane there breaking Alan Shearer's record. And that's for calendar goals. But there's still one more record, though. 260, top scorer of all time in England, in the English Premier League. Alan Shearer at 260. Harry Kane is still some way off that. But you say, with the way he's going, and his age,
he has age. You can't really put it past him. He has age on his side. I think he's a very good player. There's no team in England right now that you think of that Harry Kane would not walk into the first team. Wow. I think every other of them, because you probably think Manchester City, but then you realize that Harry Kane actually knows how to play the ball, even with his height. So for me, I think he's a very fantastic player with age on his side. Right. But for him to be put in the bracket of the best players, he still needs to start winning not just winning titles and individual, accolades.
Well. That's it for Harry Kane. We're still in England, though. We're not done with England yet.
Sure.
Matches, Boxing Day action. Yesterday, a lot of games, very exciting, a lot of dramatic ones as well. So we saw one at Old Trafford. We saw one between Bournemouth and West Ham. Right. But let's start with United, and that's the story that has gotten a lot of people talking. They were supposed to rebound from that last minute. It wasn't a loss against Leicester, but it felt like a loss, right? Yeah, they were not able to rebound from that one against Burnley, because Burnley went to Old Trafford and, exhibited their strength that we know, everyone knows about this season, from set pieces. 2 goals from set pieces. Stephen Defoe, as well as Ashley Barnes scoring those goals for Burnley. But United fought back to get a 2-2 draw. Let's run through the other result, and we'll come back to get Chidibere's reaction to those games. We also saw action between Bournemouth and West Ham, very controversial as well.